What is up, everybody? This is John with Archerfish. Just another quick video. I just got asked this question, so this is just a quick review of some of the Googan products that I've been using. First and foremost, I have used a Googan spinnerbait a few times, and I really dug them. Even caught some fish, some of my first fish. So the spinnerbaits were fine. They were fantastic. I did also get a little bass swim bait. It just seems, and maybe it'll work in some of the lakes, but I feel like out here where the water's clear, it's just too brightly colored. I mean, it doesn't really look like anything that a fish would eat. Again, I've barely thrown it, so if you've hooked stuff on the Googan swim bait, comment on it, let me know how you did, whatever, because it just seems a little too brightly colored for this type of water out here. So, that being said, the stuff that I've used the most from the Googan baits, is the Crackin Craw. I've been throwing this on using a jig as a trailer on a jig. I've also thrown it just sort of Texas style, and the Crackin Craw has worked just fine. I like the 3-incher, a little bit smaller one, as you can see, in natural green pumpkin, and it's a great thing. The only thing I don't like about them, to be honest, is it's all greasy. I know it's got all this stuff on it, it's supposed to smell good, but when you're hooking this onto a jig, the grease doesn't do you any favors. So I don't know, I kind of don't like how greasy it is, but it's a very effective bait, and I do like the color. Also the Bandito bug, like I said, I've been throwing this as well on like the Texas rig. I've gotten bit a bunch of times, so I like the Bandito bug as well. Again, a little greasy for my taste, but it does work. I have yet to throw the Googan Baits Googan Toad. I got this specifically for frog fishing because it seems awesome. A little rubber frog like this seems awesome. I cannot wait to start throwing this. Now, that being said, I got these hooks specifically to use with the Googan Toad. And I'll be honest with you, these hooks are awful. Number one, the packaging is just so elaborate and so fancy. I just think it's kind of unnecessary, especially with like this. I mean, is this really all this necessary? But what I don't like about these hooks, and as you can see, I have been using them, is the eye of the hook. I'm sure you can't see that in this light, but it's just, I'm using 8-pound, no, I'm using 14-pound fluoro, and it keeps, it falls out of here. It's just not designed well. Not to mention, if you're using plastics, look how big that eye is. It's tearing up the Bandito bug if I use that or whatever, and maybe it's not designed for that. You guys let me know. Maybe it's, maybe it'll work better with the Googan Toad, but the eye is it just tears up the bait. It's just so big and bulky, just tears up the bait. And it's not all that, straight right there. Anyway, maybe I'm just using it wrong. Please let me know, people. When I'm out there on the water, it just has not been a very good tool. That being said, last one on the list is their stick bait. Now, it's just kind of lame that there's all these stick bait ripoffs when, the Senko is the one. And I know the fish eat everything. I've caught them on yum baits, the dingers or whatever the hell they're called. And I'm sure you can catch them on this. But my problem with this is this Googan stick bait, the Lunker Log 5-incher, is supposedly green pumpkin, okay? Now let me show you. This is green pumpkin from Yamamoto, and this is their green pumpkin. You see the difference? That's a big difference. I don't know if, it's really that big of a deal in the water, but when I'm throwing clear water, I want this bait. I want this sort of clearer looking bait, and it's nothing but clear water out here. Now, those guys fish Texas, they fish a lot of dirty water. I'm sure this thing works like gangbusters down here, but honestly, out here in this clear water, that's supposed to be green pumpkin, black flake. I mean, that's really dark. That's more like a dark watermelon or something. So I've noticed that this does not get bit out here, but this does, honestly. So that's it. I have, let's see, I've yet to use some of their, I have used their Scout. again, for out here as a jerk bait, it's just a little too big. It's like this. I do throw it from time to time. Maybe I'll throw it a little bit more at Kachuma where I know I'll probably get bit, but it just seems a little big and a little heavy for these fish out here. I like the little Lucky Craft pointer, the sort of smaller jerk baits. And I have yet to throw any of their cranks or any of their other stuff. So maybe I will, maybe I'll give it a shot, you know, but otherwise that is it. All right, that is my Googan review.